Pregnancy is a marathon, physically, emotionally, mentally. And if you think staying active during pregnancy is just her responsibility, then you've missed the point. Because movement during pregnancy isn't just about her health, it's about energy. The energy that she needs to carry and birth your baby. And the energy that you'll need to support her and survive what comes next. This episode is about how you show up as a partner in that process, not as a cheerleader, but as someone who moves through it with her. You're not just expecting a baby, you're becoming a father, and there's a difference. Most men don't realise this until it's too late. They wait, they stay quiet, they assume they'll figure it out when the baby arrives. And then one day, they're exhausted, disconnected, and wondering how they became a passenger in their own family. This series exists to stop that from happening. I'm Aidan, founder of the Modern Fatherhood Club and dad of two. I have lived the mistakes, I've carried the pressure, and I know exactly what it costs when fathers don't prepare. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being present. It's about understanding your role early so you don't spend the next 5 years trying to repair it. Every episode is going to give you clarity, perspective, and one thing you can actually do right now to show up better for your partner and your child. This series is built for you. It's designed to help you show up from day one and be the dad they need and the partner that she's expecting you to be. No fluff, no lectures, just clear, tactical advice based on real-world experience. We're going to walk through what's coming, physically, emotionally, financially, and mentally, not just for her, but for you. Because this isn't about being the backup. It's about building a partnership that works under pressure. If you're expecting her to carry the baby and the burden, then you're already behind. But here's the good news. Being switched on, present and prepared, well, it's a choice. One you get to make today. One she'll never forget. All right, let's dive in. This episode is about energy. Hers, yours, and the energy you both need to make it through this pregnancy and everything that comes after. Now don't worry, we are not talking about gym selfies or protein shakes. This is about movement, simple movement that supports her body, clears her head, and helps you both deal with the reality of what's coming. Whether that's walking, swimming, stretching, or just getting out of the house together. This isn't about perfection. This is about consistency. My partner stayed active through both our pregnancies. Not with intense workouts or strict routines, but by listening to her body and keeping movement part of her day. Back then, we only had one car and I needed it for work. So she walked 1.5 miles to the station every morning and again in the evening. It wasn't planned exercise, it was just life. But it kept her moving and helped her stay fit without overdoing it. Later on, when we were able to get a second car, she swapped the walks for early morning swims. And those swims became her sanctuary. It was a chance to move, to think, to mentally decompress. Seeing how much that helped her gave me a different perspective. Movement wasn't just good for the baby, it was good for her mind. And honestly, it gave me a wake-up call too. Because at the time, I wasn't looking after myself. My diet was poor, I was relying on coffee and late nights. And after baby number 2 arrived, well, that lifestyle caught up with me. Stress, exhaustion, burnout. But my recovery, it started with movement. It was simple, it was regular, and it was doable. And here's the truth most people don't talk about. Fatherhood is physical. Once that baby becomes mobile, your energy needs to match theirs. I've got 2 boys. They wrestle, they climb, they bounce off furniture. They want you on the floor, on the trampoline, chasing them around the garden. And trust me, rough play is a full body workout. So pregnancy is actually the start of your physical preparation for fatherhood. And if she can stay active safely, then it helps her with energy, sleep, mood, and labour. And if you stay active too, you're going to be in a much better position to support her. Now, the NHS here in the UK is very clear on this. Pregnant women are encouraged to keep up their normal physical activity for as long as they feel comfortable. That could be walking, yoga, swimming, dancing, or simply walking to the shops and back. Exercise isn't dangerous for baby. In fact, evidence shows that women who stay active during pregnancy are less likely to experience complications later on in the pregnancy and labour. My partner benefited massively from staying active. And your role as a partner is pretty simple. Help her find what works. There are plenty of safe activities during pregnancy when they're done properly. We've talked about it. Walking, swimming, prenatal yoga or Pilates, low impact aerobics, light strength work, stationary cycling. These activities help maintain strength, mobility and circulation. But there are also things to avoid. Contact sports, kickboxing or squash, scuba diving, high altitude activities. And after 16 weeks, lying flat on the back for long periods. If she experiences dizziness, pain, shortness of breath or bleeding during exercise, then she's going to have to stop immediately and she needs to seek medical advice. Now let's look at pelvic floor. Pelvic floor exercises, well, they strengthen the muscles supporting the bladder, womb and bowel. During pregnancy, those muscles are under huge strain. Strengthening them helps during pregnancy and after birth. There are plenty of apps and resources that guide pelvic floor exercises. And this is something that you can support her with simply by being aware of it and encouraging it consistently. Just like with nutrition, movement becomes a mindset shift. You don't need to be a fitness fanatic, but you do need to understand something important. Fatherhood, motherhood, it's relentless. And if you're running on empty, it's going to catch up with you. I didn't recognize how important movement was until it was almost too late. Looking after yourself mentally and physically, it's not selfish, but preparation. Here's your specific action. Be her movement partner. Do something with her. Walk together after dinner, try prenatal yoga, and if she's swimming, drive her there and grab a coffee while she does it. I even tried yoga at home once. Was any good? Absolutely not. But it gave us time together, time to talk about baby, time to unwind, time to connect. And that's what matters. Now, if she's unsure where to start, there are plenty of great resources available. You only have to look at Jo Wicks, the body coach, who has a pregnancy fitness program. There are also apps like the Body Coach. There are also apps like Beachbody. Some are free, some require a subscription, but the investment can be worth it. Personally, I now aim to exercise 5 to 6 times a week for around 45 minutes. It's about consistency, and that consistency has made a huge difference to both my energy and my mental health. So here's one thing I want you to focus on from this episode. Stay consistent together. Movement as a couple strengthens your bond, whether that's a short walk, a stretch, or a home workout. It helps her feel supported, and it reminds both of you that you're in this together. So let's recap the key takeaways. Prioritize physical well-being. Understand why movement helps both her body and her mind. Learn what exercises are safe and what has to be avoided. And most importantly, be her workout partner, even if you're terrible at it, because showing up matters more than performing perfectly. So you don't need to be super fit. You just need to care. If you commit to movement together now, you'll be far better prepared for the highs, the lows, the chaos of early parenting. This is your opportunity to show up. This is your opportunity to be mentally and physically ready for the challenges ahead. If this episode hit home, that's not by accident. Fatherhood has a way of surfacing the things we've been avoiding. The pressure, the fear, the expectation, identity. The difference between dads who grow into the role and dads who burn out under it, well, it's awareness and support. If you want ongoing support, you can join the Modern Fatherhood Club. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, follow the show. And if you know another dad who would benefit from this conversation, share the episode with him. Because that's how this spreads, one honest conversation at a time. Now, before you go, answer this in the comments. What part of today's episode stood out and why? For me, the most important part is understanding what she can and can't do. It's then throwing yourself in to support her and encourage her to stay as fit and healthy as she can during this pregnancy. But you can't do that if you're not prepared to set the tone, if you're not prepared to show up. It doesn't matter what exercise you do together, but if you can make time to exercise together, it's an opportunity to bond. It's an opportunity to plan for the future. It's an opportunity that when baby arrives, you might struggle to get back. So remember, fatherhood starts long before the baby arrives, and the work you do now will echo for decades, and it's going to set the tone. Because presence beats perfection, awareness beats guesswork, because the work you do now shapes the father they see and the father you become. I'll see you in the next episode.